What's going on, guys? Alex here with 814ADC, bringing you yet again another review. This time it is of the custom fixed blade made for me by Mill Run Knife Company. Trevor over there is a fantastic human being, and I would consider him a good buddy by now. And I got this in from him. This is probably back in late January, early February, somewhere in there. It's been a while since I've unboxed this and I've gotten it in the collection. So this review is long overdue. I apologize about that to you guys, and I apologize to Trevor for not getting this out there sooner. But I have very, very much enjoyed having this in the collection. I love this fixed blade, and if I'm being frank, obviously there's other makers out there that I would like to check out and make great products, but when it comes to fixed blades, I much prefer folders over fixed blades. You guys know that by now. I've had, very, very few fixed blades in the collection as compared to folders. So I think, whenever I need a fixed blade or I want, kind of get that itch for a fixed blade, I've already kind of made my decision up in my mind, and I'm just going to go back to Trevor because he has really blown me away by this product, and he makes a great knife. And he has been, we chat quite a bit on Instagram, so I see what he's making and stuff like that, and he makes really good products. And when you put into consideration that he is a single person making them out of his, I forget if it's his garage or he has like a shed or a shop area in his home, but it's just him getting this stuff in and making knives. It's not, a company, it's not a group of people, it's one single person, Trevor, from Mill Run Knife Company, that is making these things. And back when I got this in, I believe I was the first person that wasn't a family member or a friend of Trevor's to buy one off of him. So that was really, really cool. And I really want to, I want to see him succeed, and I want to see him grow. He has told me, though, this is not something that he wants to do for a job. This is just something he does for a hobby. So he's not looking to make it into like a full-time business opportunity for him. But I really still would like to see him, get his name out there more. I think that a lot of people would be happy with his work. I've honestly, I just stuttered there. I've honestly not handled, a large amount of fixed blades, but to me, the fit and finish and the level of expertise on this one is just mind-blowing, and I love it. And to me, it's so good, and I've been nothing but pleased with his knife and his work. And like I said, I fully plan on getting some stuff in the future from him. So just jumping right into the knife. This is sort of a design that he already came up with, but he shortened it, so it's kind of like a one-off design. I think he has made a couple more for himself or for some other people. He actually asked me told me that I need to think of a name for this. I'm still kind of thinking of one. I have a couple in mind or in my head that I've considered for it, but I definitely need to finalize on that and tell him about it. So if he has to make more, or if he gets more people in that want his stuff, specifically this sort of model, he has a name for it. But it's so well made. It comes with this Kydex sheath, which it is a little bit, it's not going to come out, but you do have a little bit of play right there. It doesn't bother me at all, because Trevor said multiple times, I think he made a sheath for me that he didn't like. So he actually made me a new one because it wasn't up to his standards. He said, he's told me multiple times that he's much better with making knives than he is making Kydex. But for what I use this knife for and for what I need, it works very well. You're not going to get it to fly out of there at all. So tension's very well done. You get a little ramp up here. You get a soft loop that you can put this on your belt. When I first got it in, it was flipped the other way. So I flipped it this way it is now, so I can carry it horizontal on my belt. And this is about the biggest size of a fixed blade that I would probably want to carry. Anything bigger than this, it would just feel too uncomfortable to me. But yeah, Kydex is done well. It just is a little bit loose here, but no qualms at all for me. You don't care about that. It's still nice and tight in there. So we'll set that to the side. And here is the knife itself. Just a beautiful fixed blade. One thing that I have noticed is the blade to handle ratio is a little bit off. That doesn't bother me, but I know other people are kind of OCD about that, so I apologize if you are. But I wanted something, I didn't want a whole, a huge bulky fixed blade, and I told him that. But I also wanted something to get a full grip on. And that's why the blade, I think, is right around 3 inches or so. No, not even 3 inches. I do have a little ruler right here. It's like 2 3/4 inches, 2 3/4 inches long. I can't talk right now. But this is 4V blade steel. He had a plethora of blade steels out there, and I did some talking with him about it. And it was really cool when I was building this because he listed all the blade steels out, and I had a couple that I was going to go with, and then I talked to him about it, and I just asked him what he recommended. And this is 4V. That is what he said he uses a lot of, and he likes to use on fixed blades. But he has, he's been doing a couple recently in Magna Cut, which is really, really cool. Maybe eventually I'll get one made in Magna Cut by him. But we ended up going with 4V. But it was cool. I got to pick the steel, and he sent me one morning like 30 pictures of different micarta pieces that he had. And I originally went with, I believe it was like gray Terra Tough, but somehow the scales got messed up during processing or whatever. Not processing, but during the process. So he, told me that he wasn't going to send it to me like that, so he made me some new ones. So I ended up going with this black linen micarta, and it looks beautiful, and it has red liners there, and which is cool because red and black are two of my favorite color combos. It's also the color of my high school that I went to, my alma mater, I guess. And I really like the combo. It bounces off super nicely. You can see it on both ends right there. The micarta is milled down or sanded down superbly. This thing feels fantastic. It honestly doesn't even feel like micarta. It feels just super, not overly grippy, but grippy enough. Super well done. You guys can see that there's 3 screws holding in the micarta there. I've not taken the micarta off. I guess you could do that if you're trying to be a little bit more minimalistic and just carry this as like a naked, fully skeletonized knife. But yeah, nice thick blade, or nice thick tang, I guess you could say. And then the blade stock is really thin when it comes down to it. And he grinded this thing. This thing is ridiculously thin behind the edge. It's a full flat grind, but like I said, this thing comes down to a very, very fine edge. You have sort of a delicate tip, so you're not going to be like, stabbing into anything too hard. But I don't hard use any of my knives. You guys know that by now. So I won't be, having any issues with this, but he put a very good edge on here. I don't know if you guys want to pick up some of the reflections, but it's kind of a mirror polished edge. You guys can see a little bit of the reflection right there, but this thing is super sharp. Yeah, I don't think, I can't, there's a lot less materials to go over when you're talking about a fixed blade, so. But I think that's all for materials, so we will jump on to, I guess there's no action either. So it's a little bit different. I have reviewed fixed blades in the past, but, Ergos are super, super well done on this knife. It fits my hand so well. You have a groove here for your index finger, and then it kind of just has a swell towards the back. And this micarta it's not overly thick. To me, it's perfect. Like, this thing fits my hands just so well. It gets locked in. You do have some jimping up top here, which I do land on sometimes. Other times I put my thumb up here if I'm looking for more of a, forceful cut into something. I've done cuts like this when I'm ripping through packages. Like, it's just, Ergos were probably, when I first unboxed this knife, and I kind of started, taking in everything that it was giving me, Ergos are probably the thing that, I don't want to itch my head with this knife. Ergos were the thing that probably jumped off the page the most to me. And I was just like, this thing feels so well. Like the micarta, and all along right here, like it's seamless. Like, you cannot tell that this was put together how a knife is put together. And it really blew my mind away, or blew me away, blew my mind. of how well Trevor did. Like I wasn't expecting like a piece of shit to come out of here to come out of his shop, because he showed me a lot of pictures, and from the pictures they looked phenomenal, or they looked great. But this is phenomenal. Like it just blows my mind that a single person out of a single shop is making stuff like this, because it's really the first custom piece that I've handled before, or I've had in the collection. And it feels great in my hand. I have enough to get all 4 fingers on here. That's what I wanted, and he knocked out of the park with that. And then overall, it's comfortable. It's comfortable to carry. It is, to me, on the little bit. It's like I said, it's the biggest fixed blade size that I'd want to carry. Anything bigger, it would be too big for me. So this is kind of at the top, but the cutting geometry on here is very well done. This is not going to be like a normal review, I guess, because I can't really go over all the categories I do for normal folders and stuff like this. So it'll just kind of be, I'll try to make sense of it, but the geometry is awesome on this knife. I mean, you have a decent stock right here. I guess I said it was thin earlier, but it is decently thin, but it's also like not the thin. I don't know. I can't talk right now. But it comes down to just such a fantastic edge. This thing, the most I've done with this knife was I have used this in the kitchen a lot. I've cut potatoes, vegetables, chicken, a lot of, I'm in college, so I eat a lot of basically the same stuff every week. So it's seen a lot of vegetables and potatoes and chicken, like I said. And it's done super well. We have a kitchen knife in the kitchen that's, some cheap knife that we got somehow, or one of the roommates got somewhere. It's not that nice of a knife. Probably could use a sharpen. And from using it as compared to using this, I mean, this thing just blew it away on quickness and, ease of cutting. And it just sliced through stuff like butter. And that's what I was hoping for. Like, I wanted something nice and thin. This thing excels at, anything a folder does, this thing can do just as well. It can open packages very well. It processes cardboard awesomely. I'm more apt to use this probably doing food processing over a folder, just because it's a little bit easier to clean. It's only one piece, where a folder you have to make sure it doesn't get in the pivot, stuff like that. So that's, like I said, I've carried this plenty. It carries super well, but a lot of the cutting that I've done with it has come in the kitchen, just because that's where I've found the best use for it. This summer, I am going to be hopefully working for like a roofing company, and I'll be outside, doing a lot of different applications and stuff like that. So I'm probably going to carry this a lot in addition to a folder. So I'm sure that this will catch a lot of use then. And then I'll really put it to the test, because potatoes and vegetables aren't, the hardest thing that a knife can cut through. And cardboard can, if you cut a ton of it. I don't cut a ton of it, but the amount I have cut with this, it's just sliced right through it. It's just a super good slicer, super comfortable in hand, super great, edge geometry, and it just looks great in my opinion. If you wanted to, I guess you could hold it like this, and if you had to stab someone, you have kind of a thumb ramp up here. But just overall, this knife is fantastic. I guess one thing I didn't say earlier with materials is Trevor kind of did like an acid stone wash on here to hide the wear. It looks really good too. Just kind of matches the overall like black and red vibe. And I think the knife looks fantastic. I really do. Like sometimes I'll just, I sit at my desk a lot. I sit at my room a lot doing different things, and I'll always be fidgeting with something. But sometimes I'll just reach over and I'll grab this, and I'll just kind of like hold it like this, and I always just think, wow, like this thing is like made for my hands. I really have truly enjoyed this. Trevor obviously is a great dude, like I already said. I just did an unboxing earlier of, he sharpened some of my knives. He sent me some like my Carta fidget pieces. He sent me a strop that he made me. He's a great dude, and I need to meet up with him, like I said earlier. or was that earlier in this video, or was that the first video? I forget. One of the two. But yeah, he is from my area, and I have not had enough time to, properly meet up with him. I should go grab a beer with the guy or something, and I fully plan on it, this summer once I'm out of school, and once I just have a little bit more. I'm not gonna have a lot more free time because I'm gonna be working, but everything's better in the summer when you don't have to do school. Although I take that back now that I think about it. I also have to do school because my school is online. That's a story for another day, but I really am glad I have this in the collection. I will never ever get rid of this. It's just fantastic. And it's just, sometimes I just think it's so cool that someone from, 15, 20 minutes away from where I live made me this. And it's, as good of quality, as, other makers and other designers and stuff like that. And it's a cool factor for me. And I'll definitely have him make more stuff for me. And I've already thought about having him make, some maybe gift knives in the future, for parents and for in-laws and stuff like that. So that's crossed my mind. There's a lot of different things that I'm, gonna be in touch with him about, and have him hopefully make me in the future when I have a little bit more money to spend on stuff like that. So, but yeah, Trevor's a great dude. I believe he sells his knives for around the $200 range. He sold me this for a little bit cheaper, well, for a decent amount cheaper. In turn for me doing the review and for me, trying to push his name and get his name out there. So hopefully anyone watching this, if you are interested in something like this, or really anything that you want fixed blade wise, go talk to Trevor. I will leave his Instagram page linked down below. Please go message him, tell him that you saw him on my channel, and you're interested, and he will, not cater to what you need, but he will be really willing to work with you and to do really anything probably that you want. So he's a great guy. I will leave his Instagram page linked down below. Please go check him out. If you guys have any questions, leave a comment down below. What do you guys think about the knife? Are you guys big fixed blade guys, or are you guys not big fixed blade people? I just like to hear what you guys have to say. So yeah, I think that's all. At the end of the day, I'm not a huge fixed blade guy, but I am super glad that I have this in. It has been nothing but a joy to use and to carry. And every time I really cut with it, I get happy, because I'm like Trevor made this for me. This is basically a custom knife for me, from a guy that is from my area, from a town that I've been to hundreds of, maybe thousands of times by now. And it's cool. I'm happy that I was able to find him and to become friends with him. And hopefully our friendship and, the relationship that we've built, in these 4 months or so, doesn't ever quit, and we just make it stronger. Really got to meet him sometime. And yeah, so like I said, if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, leave a comment down below. I would love to, talk to you about something. I love replying to your guys' comments. So all in all, that is my full review on the Mill Run Knife Company custom fixed blade that has a name that is to be determined on this. Definitely will not be the last Mill Run knife on the channel. There will be more to come in the future. So like I said, please go check Trevor out on the link down below. Go tell him I sent you. If you're interested, go talk to him. He's super easy to work with and just a great guy. So thank you guys so much for watching. I do greatly appreciate it. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.